Well, for anybody that's listening to today, I'm hanging out at the Barbershop in Carmel.
Main Street Barbershop,
Main
which
Street.
just bought out Classic Barbershop 2 years ago.
You did? I didn't know that.
Yep.
Oh. See, people can hear. You can turn it down so we don't get some reverb on there. But hanging out at Main Street Barbershop, getting a haircut from my man Jason. Because my man Jason is more than just a barbershop, right, buddy?
That's right. Part of the community.
We have good talks here at the barbershop, and you can take me as short as you did before.
Okay.
So don't worry about going short, okay?
No, it ain't gonna hurt.
My shit grows out fast.
Not gonna hurt my feelings a bit.
Yeah. So one of the reasons why we like to do this is because we love partnering with, and why we did it today is I love partnering with guys like you, man, because you do touch a big part of the community. And the Rock and Ride for Hope, at the end of the day, that's what this is all about, is community. And I know, I mean, people probably can tell from you, man, with that amazing beard, you're kind of a guy's guy.
Good.
You say good? Yeah.
That happens when you're born in 1972.
Amen, right, dude?
And raised by a Marine.
I was not raised by a Marine. I was born in 1970. And but I was raised by some hardworking people. Yep. Dairy farmers, people that own their own businesses. I'll just say people that get shit done.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing, man. But yeah, man, I just thought this was kind of a fun idea, dude. So we'll see how many people check in on this. If you have questions and you get this far and listen, just put them in on the comment section, and I'll answer them later. So,
well, I'm such an interesting person. I'm sure they'll just come in by the thousands.
You never know. I mean, see, this is the good thing about technology. You never know where it gets to. But the fact that, like,
it gets me frustrated.
Hold on, let me see if I got anybody on here. I mean, you got one person watching, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Somebody's out there watching it.
Probably my wife to make sure I'm not doing anything.
Well, if we can tag the see, this would be good, dude. She'd come in here one day and do a podcast from the barbershop.
Yeah.
Main Street Barber. All right, Jason. Main Street Barber, located. What's the address here?
2462 East 126th Street.
And how long have you been in business?
I have, I've been cutting hair 25 years, and I've had Main Street Barbershop for 19 years now.
And you were located on Main Street in Carmel.
Yeah, we started out, came from the old Carmel Barbershop. It was Beard's Barbershop in 1931. Dang. And then it turned into Carmel Barbershop.
Yep.
And long story short, what had happened is the wife kind of took over for the husband.
Yep.
And tried to run it with an iron fist.
Oh.
And, well, long story short, and I'll try to...
Oh, no, it's off the road, man.
You know what? I guess I can say it.
You can say
it. It did not happen, luckily, but I thought that my daughter had been molested at her daycare, right? That didn't happen.
Well, that's a good thing. Yeah,
We're looking into it.
Yeah.
On a Friday, Child Services called me, and this is when I'm a single dad. So my daughter's my world.
Yeah.
Child Services called, said, "Hey, we've got this figured out. Can you come see us?" That same Friday, the owner's wife wanted to have a meeting with me about my tardies, as she called them.
Oh.
She drove the special needs bus for Carmel. So she drove by the barbershop, and she didn't see you in there. She was all over it. She considered you tardy.
Yeah.
Well, I already had this worked out with the other barbers and stuff for years. See you, Dean.
See you, Dean.
I had it worked out for years that I would not be able to show up till 7:30, 8 o'clock when a little girl let me get her ready.
Yeah.
So the other barbers made my money. She still got her booth rent. I'm the only one missing out on money.
Yeah.
I called this woman, and I gave her vivid detail on what I thought had happened.
Yep.
And the first words out of her mouth, she goes, "You know what the fuck I want to talk to you about."
Yeah.
She said, "You make a GD decision on if you want to be a full-time barber, a full-time father." Ooh. And I went, "Oh,
Okay.
And you know me, I'm not shy to talk.
Yep.
But speechless. I hung the phone up. I went and took care of business. At the time, one of our local yokels had an empty slot across the street, and she had already talked to us and said, "Hey, if you ever want to do your own thing, um, I've got a building across the street."
Yeah.
So, dropped my daughter off at her mom's
Yep.
because it was her weekend and she hadn't made it to the meeting yet. On my way home, stopped off and got a case of the ever so delicious golden Miller High Life and
the champagne of
the
beer.
champagne
Yeah,
of beers.
that's right.
And basically, I sat around a bonfire and I prayed about it.
Yeah.
And was just kind of asking God, like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, man.
And after the second day of doing this, it just kind of got driven through my brain and my heart and my gut. And I went, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
So we went across the street, do everything on a credit card, and we had that place built out, up and running, butts in the chair, cash in the hand in 11 days.
That's crazy, dude. What year was that?
That was June of 2006.
Dang.
I was working till like 3 o'clock in the morning and then
yeah.
back over there in the morning.
Yeah.
But it was funny because what we did is at night we had don't do this, by the way. We had like brown paper over the windows, so we were working at night while the city was closed, right?
Yeah.
And when we opened, what I did was I had the city electrician do our electric, and we had one of the plumbers for the city do our plumbing, so they know the codes and all that.
Yeah. And that was an older building.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And then we had the fire inspector, who was a buddy of ours. He came in, and same thing for a case of the ever so delicious Golden Miller High Life.
The champagne.
He took a look at it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know about permits. I didn't know about stuff like that, and we all know Carmel loves that.
Yeah, I get it, man.
And they got to do it. I get it.
Cities I think like that anymore. Like, I think every city that you go into anymore is more regulated. You know what I mean, or tightly regulated, anyways. From what, like, we grew up in a time frame, dude. Like I was thinking about this morning. Like, we grew up in a time frame. Like, I was actually, and here's why. So I was getting ready today, and I threw on. I just asked the it's kind of like Oz. I asked Alexa. I said, "Hey, can you play OU812?"
Yeah,
and it said, "Well, for $10.99 a month, I can sign you up for whatever, right?" And I said, "No." And so, anyways, I was sitting there. I was like, "Man, dude," because Running with the Devil came on first, and I was like, "Man, we grew up in a great time of music, like our age of people." You know what I mean? Like, you and I are close in age, and like growing up in the '70s and early '80s, but really, like, you think of the bands that hit the mainstream like between '77 and like '84. Some good bands.
That's when I knew I became a rocker because my sister was 10 years older than me. It was the first big car trip riding with her, no parents, and I looked down, showing my age. The 8-tracks.
Yeah.
And there it was, that Van Halen album. And Eddie was holding that guitar with the flame going off of it. And I said, well, let's try this out. And I popped it in. You heard that.
And you're like, what is this?
Pow. And I listened to that whole album. On the way back home, I looked down again. I said, let's try another one. And here's this guy with long hair with his guitar on the ground. He's going like this down on his knees. And it said, Ted Nugent, Double Live Gonzo, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then I put it in, and I heard Stranglehold.
It's wild because, like, even during those times, like, you think of like ticket prices and the way tickets were, and just, like, you would go. I remember, like, you would actually get you'd get the printed ticket, right? But like, even like the tickets had, like, they were printed by companies that did a design on them. You know what I mean? And like now, like, Sherry and I just we picked up tickets to go see Goose the band, and then we also are going to see Mumford and Son. And now they'll send out like this e-ticket. You know what I mean? And it's still the design, right? But you can print it and I suppose do something fun with it. But it's like it's not the same, It's just not the same. Like, I remember my tickets from the first concert I went to. Man, my first concert was Kiss back in 1983. And man, I'm telling you, man, like, I still remember that ticket. You know what I mean? Came from, I think, either LS Airs or Blocks, one of the two. You know, those old places back in the day.
Well, it was like the inside of the album covers too,
Yeah.
where you explored the record.
Yeah.
I don't find myself exploring a CD, right? And then after that, now it's for me. I'm Amazon Prime Music all day.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm a Spotify guy, so and the reason I did that was when Cass was down at IU. They're Hoosiers, by the way. Down at IU, she got a discount for a Spotify subscription, so they still give it to us.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm you know, that's good. But hey, if you're listening out there, you can check out all of our streaming podcast on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, and iHeartRadio. So what about that's pretty big time, dude. See what we're hoping, Jason, is one day somebody's going to come across one of these, and we're going to get it to Pat McAfee.
Yeah,
because I throw challenges out to the dude all the time, man. Like if I could idle and like put like what I want this show to be, I want this show to replicate that show because we just talk about dumb shit,
yeah,
dude shit, real life shit,
yeah,
and have fun with it and help people. I mean, that's what we want to do.
Should we get him and John Coog Mellencamp
Sure.
to get? We'll have them go at it on the.
I'm putting my money on McAfee.
Me too.
Mellencamp smoked too many cigarettes in life.
Yeah.
McAfee might be smoking those lefties, but I don't know. No, it's fun, man. So I appreciate you guys supporting us, man. So just for people that are maybe listening in, I don't know how many we got now. Usually we average between five to 10 people, Jason. So we're growing.
Yeah,
it's a homegrown deal that we do here, and I love trying shit like this. But so, anyways, I appreciate you guys supporting the Rock and Ride for Hope coming up this Saturday, man. I had the opportunity to go down to WTHR a little bit ago. They're doing a spot on us, and I was telling Matthew Foltz, if you don't know Matthew, you guys should check him out in the mornings. Great young man. We actually did a podcast with him as well on the kind of just mental side of what it is to be a newscaster. Because we had, right before we did it, there was a newscaster out in, I think, New York or one of the eastern states that had taken their own life.
Oh, God.
And a lot of it had to do with the trauma that they deal with day in and day out. You know what I mean? Just with, you know what the news has on it, right? I mean, so anyways, but Matthew's a great young man, and so he's doing a spot on us to support us. But if it's not for people like you and him and Everyday GSD and LDR Studios, Debo and Gimbal Financial and Gaylord Electric and TV Foundation, these sponsors that are big sponsors for us, we wouldn't be able to do it.
You mean people with moral fiber?
There you go, moral fiber.
Yeah.
See, like that right there could go off into a rabbit hole. Like, let's hear what everybody thinks about moral fiber.
Yeah.
You know?
I tell people that all the time. You know, God gave you free will, right? And not everybody's a believer, but you can still get into that book and go with the moral fiber that goes with it. Treating people right.
Yeah.
Taking care of business.
Right.
I think that's a big reason you do what you do. And in here, if I can use this shop as a platform to help somebody, I do it.
Yeah, man.
From Tatum Parker Project, it was Tatum's Bags of Fun years ago that they take bags of toys and computer things and stuff like that to every kid in Indiana that got cancer.
Oh, look at this guy coming in.
And then we've done.
Look at this fucking guy, buddy. What's going on, man? I haven't seen you in a minute.
Small town.
Huh? He's kind of a small town, isn't it? Yeah, right. You guys still jamming?
You know, we're actually playing at a bar tonight in Lafayette.
Really?
Kings River.
Yeah?
Have you been there?
Still you and Aaron?
Yeah.
Yeah, right on, dude. That's awesome.
We're only playing like once a month.
Yeah.
Just here and there, beer money.
Yeah.
You're live, by the way. You should do a plug.
Yeah, it's must be treasure, right? That's it. Unless you change the name.
No, same name.
All right, same name.
Let's
Yeah.
do a few.
Just hanging out, man. Doing a little promotion here. Jason's, helping us out with the Rock and Ride, and over at Harley. So the Building a Refuge nonprofit that we run. So we have our fundraiser this weekend.
Oh, it's this weekend?
Yeah.
Nice.
So got 8 bands lined up.
Oh, dude. That's
Motorcycle ride, and yeah.
good weather for it.
I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed. You check one station, it says 50% chance of rain. You check another one, it said 2% chance. It's Indiana.
Yeah, they don't know.
No, it'll be good, man. This is the third year we've been doing it, so we're excited about it, man. But we got a great day lined up, dude. A lot of great bands. So Tommy's headlining for us, and he just dropped a new album. Yeah, yeah, it was pretty. It was good. I mean, you always hope for more people. You know what I mean? Like there was 150, maybe 200 people there, so that was a good for me. I think that was a good crowd for Tommy. It's just like it's like can you get more people to like hear him? You know what I mean? He's such a talented young man. So he had Doug Penixon from King's X. You remember the band King's X? So they're a band that was Jason. You probably remember King's
I remember
X.
them.
Yeah. So they were kind of they were pretty big back in like the early '90s, kind of around that same time as like the Seattle kind of grunge. But they're a little different than that. Doug's a great dude though, man. So he came in. Come on across, man. He came in to help.
You don't have any warrants, do you?
Let's see, probably back in March, I think it was, somewhere around there. But anyways, I was hoping he would stick around for this show, but he had to get back to LA. Yeah, man.
What do you do? What do you do besides the building a refuge? You told me you did some other stuff too.
Well, you mean like from a philanthropy perspective, or just so we do a barbecue every year for the Hamilton County Kids Coach. That happens in September. Although this is kind of breaking news, they've expanded now, so their churches that they work with are going to kind of handle all of the collection and distribution on their own.
Yeah,
which is cool. Yeah, which is good because that was kind of the whole goal when we started working with them is they wanted to be able to expand that program.
Yeah.
And through what we did with Rib Fest, that thing has expanded greatly, like huge.
Well, and me personally, what happened is by me showing up to that.
That's right.
And I'm gonna look into I'm not shitting you, dude.
Yeah.
They don't call me Hog Jaws for any reason at all, right?
Yeah.
Those were the best ribs I've ever had. I've had ribs everywhere.
We are toying around with bringing Rib Fest under the Building a Refuge umbrella. And what we are working right now is if we can do a partnership with, a matter of fact, one of the ride stops on the Rock and Ride for Hope, the VFW here in Carmel. Mm-hmm. So I am an lifetime auxiliary member. I'm not a veteran, so thank you to all of our veterans. We appreciate you all greatly. We have a great resource arm. Even at Building a Refuge, we have a great resource arm for our veterans. But we are talking about bringing the Rib Fest to the VFW in Carmel and doing a collaboration with the VFW and Building a Refuge. So we do an event. Building a Refuge does do an event in September. We label it just as like a chicken queue. We used to do those in Wisconsin a lot. Mm-hmm. So we would kind of combine those two things into one event. But yeah. And the other part,
I had a blast.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing. Yeah, we're still going to do ribs, so everything will be the same. The other cool part of it is we can do co-collection as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a blessing, right? It's kind of serendipitous how everything is happening. But,
yeah.
And that's
we had a box in here.
Yeah.
I got with that lady when I was at the Carmel Rib Fest, and we put a box in here. Didn't get as many coats as I thought, but that's okay because it was the first year. So.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I think that they want to do is just to try to do more marketing. You know what I mean? Try to do more marketing to get a push out there for people to know that, you can clean your closets out. You can drop these off. They do go to a good cause. Yeah. The whole reason we got involved in it was like when we moved over from Fishers to Carmel, that was the 10th year of us doing it. And we were like, everybody's like, are you going to stop it? And we're like, well, we really don't have anywhere we can host it. So thankfully to Nathan Doyle, you remember Nathan, he owned Union Brewing Company, and he was like, you guys can put an event on here for sure. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how it came about again, and it's just been living on. And so you mentioned this a little bit earlier, Jason. I'm a huge believer in the spirit will find a way. Mm-hmm. And we were just like, we're going to keep doing this, and it's continuing on today. So just because it won't happen under the kids' coats umbrella, it will still continue on.
Yeah.
It always finds a way. Like the Lord always finds a way to continue good work. When you're doing, when you're doing God's work, man, like it will continue. It will continue on.
Yeah.
So but that's the other part of kind of what we do.
Dude, I have church in here with people more
There's
than I
even
ever
more
did
churches
sitting
in
in
it.
a pew.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, I'm very blessed. I am a part of a community, man, that really supports learning and understanding what it means to be free in Jesus.
Yeah.
And yeah, you go ahead, man, jump in. Yeah, say hello. But what it means to be free in Christ, and really at the end of the day, what that means is He died one time on a cross for you, for everything in the past, present, and future. So it's done. There's a Latin word, Jason, called tetelestai. Okay, and I love it. I learned this on a few shows ago. It's the Latin word tetelestai that means it's complete, it's done. And so on the cross, the last words that Jesus said was tetelestai. It's finished. And in the world we live in here, like if you think about it, like from a judicial perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
It means that if somebody was sentenced, right, it means they've done their full term. Like if they got served a sentence of 10 years, they didn't get out on early behavior. They didn't get a further sentence. They did 10 years. And it was completed. That's what it kind of means in a judicial sense, right? In a
Sounds like a good tattoo for you.
I know, right? I know, yeah. But it's just cool, man, because that's what it really means at the end of the day, and that's the way I believe, and I didn't always believe that way. I mean, it took me, until I lost my brother and Rusty Kennedy came into my life, to help me kind of sort all that out.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the best way to put it. And when I finally realized, dude, that Jesus just loves me, man, exactly the goofball I am, then I'm good, man.
Yeah.
And
I've had a lot of experiences in my life,
and it makes you want to do more good things.
Yeah,
what I mean.
That's why we do what we do, because that's what you're told to do.
That's right.
To help where you can.
Yeah.
Whether that's the building a refuge or whatever.
About this. This is why this is kind of fun. You know what I mean? Because I even told Austin, I was like, man, I'm going to try this out with Jason, and I love that you're open to doing it. But I mean, you mentioned something to me when I was in for my last haircut about 3.5 weeks ago. That you said, man, I love doing community stuff. I love, we're more than just a barbershop.
Yeah.
We want to support the community. And I think that's hugely meaningful because you're right, there's a lot of great talks that happen in here. And in any barbershop across the United States.
Yeah.
Right? You should be able to come in and hang out, talk with your buddies.
It's the community hub, man.
Yeah. And that's why I just thought it was kind of fun to do something like this, man. You know what I mean?
Well, that's how that works in here. Things like this, just me having a conversation with somebody.
Yeah.
Whether it's autism, whatever it is, something pops up, and I go, actually, because I've got a parking lot in this.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do an event here. We can help.
Yeah.
I hand out. I don't care what it is. If I can contribute a gift certificate for a haircut or something.
Yeah.
To a bag. We do Carmel PD. I mean, I don't even have enough time to ramble on fire department. I do everything that I can because one, somebody's getting a prize. It's for a good cause. They get to come in here and get, treated a little bit, and then they get to know us, and we kind of get to showcase our work. And
yeah, man.
Like you're saying, you don't know what's coming out of a conversation.
That's the thing.
Good shit pop up everywhere.
And that's one of the big things too, man. Like why we do things the way we do them. I mean, I don't, after I go home and I take a look at this, I may find out, well, that didn't work, and I'll do something else. Because here's the deal, dude. I'm not afraid to fail.
No,
I don't give a shit.
No, I do it all every day.
I don't care. Because here's the thing. Failing is a word that really should be redefined as a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee it, if you fail once, you're not going to do the same shit twice. And if you do, well, then that's your decision. You know what I mean?
Maybe that makes you a dumbass.
Well, could. I mean, usually you should learn from it, right?
Well, you would think.
Yeah. My golf game has been trying to figure that out a little bit. I need some help with the wedges. That's the problem right now. The wedges in the bag.
Yeah.
Everything else working fine. They can just figure out that 100 yards in. Really, it's like 60. It's not even 100. It's like 60 yards in. But yeah, man, we really appreciate it, dude. This is fun stuff, and I just like promoting you guys too, man. Any way we can, you know what I mean? I mean, your chairs are pretty well filled, but
Yeah, this is kind of a slow day, but
well, it's a Wednesday, hump day. But I had to get out. Like, man, I'm super busy right now with everything going on. I got to run out to another company that's been helping us out is TNT Promotions up in Noblesville.
okay.
They're a print company and they do a lot of stuff and they're great, man. Lori's awesome, and so I got to run and pick up some T-shirts because we're gonna have a lot of merchandise out there, for folks to buy. And I don't know if I mentioned this. Everything's free at the event this Saturday. Where can you go to a free event?
I don't know.
Now,
That's a word that people really like.
We encourage a donation, right? Because people go, well, how do you make money? Like, we encourage donations. But like I always tell people, they're like, well, why wouldn't you charge for the motorcycle ride? Like, I had one of my buddies ask me that, and I said, well, because if it's the difference between somebody's like, man, I don't really have the $30 to spend, right, to go do a motorcycle ride, I don't want that to be a barrier.
Yeah,
just come out.
It's a good idea, man.
Just come out. You don't have to give it $30. Just come out, man. Come and hang out. Hell, you can come out and do a motorcycle ride. You can get a free plate of food, and you're going to hear a full day of music if you need to for free.
And you never know what good things can happen with all that going on.
I believe there's
people
good
talking,
things.
People meeting. Yeah. Hey, I own this.
Well,
I own that. We can do this. Who knows?
Yeah, and the one thing that we hope for, like Matthew asked me this morning. He's like, "Hey, man, what do you hope to get out of this?" And I said, my hope is that somebody randomly comes to this event, maybe gets invited, maybe just stumbles across it, and it helps them understand that it's okay to talk to somebody, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I never hear about it. Maybe we never hear about it. Maybe Building Refuge never hears about it. But they go out into the world and they feel comfortable enough that they said, man, I went to this event this weekend and I actually do need to open up somebody. That's cool.
Sometimes guys don't want to talk.
Yeah.
But
totally.
I don't care how tough you are.
Yeah.
All right. You got major shit going on.
Yeah.
You got to talk to somebody because being a man, and I'm not saying being a woman is any less, it's hard.
Yeah.
You got me for an example. We have children.
Yeah.
You got to work. You got to go. And then, as you know, when you do charity events and you help other people, you just took on a second job, but it's rewarding.
Here's the deal. Like I've been praying hard, man, lately, and there's been so many great things to happen in the last. Really, probably the last 2 months is when I've really started to feel this. But I've been really praying hard about, like, I'd love to be able to do this full time. I'm blessed. I work for a wonderful company and got a great team that I work for, and I'm very grateful that I can step out for lunch and come and do stuff like this and incorporate it into my day. But man, if I could do this full time, and make ends meet, if you will, right? Because you got to live. But people have to understand, even if you're running a nonprofit and you get to a point where the nonprofit is big enough, you're going to have to hire people and you're going to have to pay people.
Right.
Now, 100% of our money that we raise, Jason, goes back to the community. Like in today's world, I don't take a dime. None of the people on our board take a dime. It's all 100% volunteer, so 100% goes back.
I think that's what people look for when they want to contribute to a charity.
But here's the thing: if it gets bigger, right? If it gets bigger, like if you look at some of these large nonprofits that say generate anywhere between say $1 million to $5 million in gross receipts or gross income, or even $5 to $10 million, you're running a business.
Right.
So you have to hire executive directors. You have to hire a sales department. You have to hire operations. You have to hire all these things to keep it going. But the way the nonprofits work, there's certain percentages, right? There's certain percentages that have to come from certain areas. So certain percentages got to come from contributions. Like you can't have 100% come from like one source, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, man, I've just been praying a lot about it, dude, and we'll see how it all works out. I mean,
see where the man takes you.
See where the man takes me. Took me here today.
Yeah.
Actually, Cassidy CRV took me here, so it's got 203,000 miles on it, which I'm grateful for.
Well, I hope it's successful. You hung there.
Hey, man, good seeing you, man.
Have a good one, man.
Yeah, you too. Tell the wife hello, and let me know if you guys are playing back at Union again sometime.
I don't think we're ever going back to you.
Really?
Hell no.
Yeah.
I'm not going back to that
Yeah.
place.
What about the VFW?
Yeah, VFW.
So I'll keep you posted because we may be bringing Ribfest back under Building Refuge.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Not gonna do it at your brewery?
probably not.
Okay.
It's not been decided upon yet, but the kids' coats have expanded to a point where they're going to have like their churches that they partner with kind of handle everything on their own, which is good because that's what they wanted to do. So Linda, yeah, well, it's close.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
For this
close.
year, you think?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll say this: it's a 90% chance that it's going to happen there. I'm just
Over there.
Seth and Darren and the crew. So we have some pretty fun things already kind of lined up. But it will still be the same setup, still ribs, still no cost. Just come out, enjoy some ribs and sweet corn. And the cool part of it is like they can do all the sides. You know what I mean? Like so they can do all they got a full kitchen. Yeah. We just did a pig roast over there about a month and a half ago. It was awesome. Yeah, probably one of the best hog roasts we've ever done.
Their food's pretty good, man.
And the funny, here's the funny, I know, right? Yeah, well, that's the great part about people don't know about the BFW, man. I mean, it's public. Yeah. So you can go in there. You know what I mean? Like, sure, they would love to have you join, and if you can, based on the requirements, but I mean, you can go have lunch there, and you're right. You can go over there and have.
They got good food in there.
They're nice.
Their breakfast.
Yeah. Try to catch that breakfast every time.
It's so good, dude.
That's the best breakfast in Carmel.
It's the only place I'm gonna tell you right now. You're gonna get a freaking steak and like a legit steak and eggs.
Bloody Mary.
Oh yeah.
$10.
Yeah, exactly. So, but man, I'll keep you posted if you guys would be open to playing, man. That'd be super fun. I love you. I just haven't seen you guys play in a while. All right, buddy. You too, man. Take care. You still got the vet? You should the Chevelle, right? No.
Yeah, I got the Chevelle, but look what I just did to it.
Oh no. Hopefully something good.
Something real good.
Okay. Did you replace the engine recently?
Yeah. Let me show you what engine I put in there.
Are you still storing it at your mother? No way, dude.
It's got 140 horse now. It's stupid. We got to get out and cruise some.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah. I'm thinking about selling it though, because I am. Well, no, I mean I'll replace it, but I just haven't found one yet, like in the price range. But I'm looking for like a 68, 69, or a 70, either a fastback or a Mach 1. But to find one, that's been done right, you're looking between 40 and 60. Yeah. And I don't know if I want to go that deep into it.
It escalates quick when you get into those old cars.
Yeah.
Finding other projects, man.
But man, once you get it done right, it's done.
Yeah,
well, totally done.
Project, right?
Yeah. But I'll hit you up for sure. We're gonna we'll have it in Artimobilia again this year.
I'm not gonna do that.
No.
But I go cruise with it.
All right, come on, let's do it. Yeah, we'll do a little ride.
All right.
Good to see you, Zach. Yeah, man, they're Muskie Treasure. The hell is it? Muskie Treasure Hunt? Muskie Treasure something is the name of their band. They're good, dude. They're really good. So yeah, buddy. Well, this has been fun, man. I love being able to do shit like this, Jason.
Yeah, this is what I do every day.
Yeah, it's good shit, dude. Good stuff. And I needed to get this done because I got some work meetings next week in Minneapolis, so had to get the wig busted, so to speak.
Well, I'm here.
He says, "Well, I'm here. You ain't going anywhere, right?"
Nope, I gotta work.
All righty. Well, that's good, buddy. I appreciate it. We got 2 people on today. That's good. Thanks for joining in. Thanks, buddy.
No problem.
Appreciate you, bro. Good shit. Good shit. Main Street Barbers.